Hi, I'm Melinda Maharani, a first semester early childhood education student. Today, I'm going to show you a day in my life as a private tutor. When I have morning classes, I usually wake up at 4:30. I take a moment to fully gather my sense before showering and doing my Fajr prayer. By 6 o'clock, I usually start preparing my teaching materials and picking out my outfit. If I have some spare time, I'll cook and eat breakfast at home. Otherwise, I'll just grab a snack on the go. I leave for work at 7 o'clock since my first session starts at 8 o'clock. Even though the commute is only about 30 to 40 minutes, I always leave early to avoid traffic. For your information, I live in Duri Kepa, West Jakarta. I arrived at my first student place in Duri Kosambi at 7:30. Since I was early, I had time to film some footage. At 8 o'clock, I started teaching a 2-year-old focusing on sensory and fine motor play. I finished at 9 o'clock and headed straight to Pegadungan. It's so close to the airport, haha. Since I was starving, I stopped at Indomaret. I bought the sealed chicken rice, sausage, and a drink. Bismillah, enjoy your meal. The rice was steaming hot, but it tastes so good because I was hungry. After eating, I made sure to throw away my trash. It's our own responsibility after all. At 9:50, I reached my second student, an adorable 1-year-old baby who loves sensory play. After finishing at 10 o'clock, I braved the midday heat and traffic to go home. I got back at 11:35, cooked a quick meal and changed my clothes because they were covered in flour from the sensory play earlier. At 12:35, I left for my third student, who lives in an apartment nearby. I stopped to print some worksheet first. This student is a 4-year-old foreigner who is learning Indonesian. I taught from 1 to 2 p.m. By then, I was feeling a bit tired, but I had to keep going. At 3 p.m., I arrived at my fourth student house. Forgot to film there. He's 7 years old and learning to read and write. My final session was supposed to start at 4 p.m., but I got caught in the rain. Even with a raincoat, my pants got soaked. I arrived at 4:36 p.m. and taught while feeling quite chilly. I finally finished at 5:40 p.m. and rushed home. Look at that beautiful evening sky. Thank you, Allah, for today's blessing. I was so exhausted that I fell asleep by 8 p.m. Now, I will tell you my weekly wrap-up. To give you a better idea of how I manage my time, here is my routine for the rest of the week. From Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My weekdays are mostly consistent with my tutorial routine. I start my day at 4:30 a.m. for prayer and prep. From 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. I am usually hopping between different student house or attending my own in-person classes at campus. I usually wrap up my day and head home by 6 p.m. to recharge for the next day. Saturday. Saturday was my me time and admin day. As you can see in my schedule, Saturday is a bit more relaxed. From 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning, I pray and then catch up on some much needed extra sleep. And from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the morning, I refresh and prep a late breakfast or brunch. From 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the 11 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, this is my chill time for movie marathons or YouTube. At 4:30 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, I head to Pandawa to print books and worksheet for my student. And at 6 to 9 o'clock in the night, I end the day hanging out with friends before heading home. And now Sunday. Sunday is my family time, or I was doing campus project in last Sunday. Sundays are for my family and academic responsibilities. At 11 o'clock in the morning, I travel to Bekasi to visit my cousin, and then I arrive at 2:30, and then having a big family meal together with my cousin, and at 6:30 p.m. I get to work on my UAS project for the education in the family course by interviewing my cousin. And at 8:30 p.m. we wind down with a movie together before I head to bed at 11 p.m. So that was my weekly routine, and that also was my video, a day in my life, Melinda version. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.